Good morning. We're here to facilitate your move.
This place is huge, bro.
That is 4 times your rate. It is imperative that the move happen tonight. The basement and the attic are not your concern.
A film set in one location from the word go, that's setting yourself up for all kinds of challenges, no? Especially Jerren in terms of script writing, no?
Oh, yeah. From the start, that was kind of, we were trying to figure out a creative way to do that. There's been it's obviously a trope of horror, but I think I had a co-writer, Jay Goldberg, who would kind of come up with the movers ex-convicts idea, and I thought that's a really interesting idea to get us into the house. And then the whole I think originally it was kind of a copycat of Joseph Mengele. Sorry, are we in spoilers? Are we like, is this a spoiler?
What'd you find?
Holocaust experiments.
Horror allowed us to go supernatural with it and kind of play with some fun things. And so it was always intended as a micro budget in the house kind of thing. We shot it in 12 days. It was a really fun, intense shoot, and that kind of attitude and atmosphere kind of, I think, came out in the movie. So I don't want to talk too much with these beautiful faces on.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I want to kind of bring in the characters. So obviously, you mentioned there the idea of these guys who kind of work in moving houses now. Can you tell me exactly why it was that Bryce, Ryan, and Morgan were specifically the kind of characters that you were looking for, that you thought would fit right in? Because they're very disparate characters, very different characters.
It's one of those things that a little bit, when you describe it, it kind of sounds like the beginning of a joke. It's just like, a Mexican, a black woman, a white guy all walk into a house, whatever. But that was very intentional. I think, we wrote it around the time of all that stuff was happening in Virginia. We wrote it 2019, I think, or 2018. And there's a lot of the idea of this legacy of hatred, that just kind of hatred's the monster that lives in the shadows and then it comes out every now and again, was what the theme we wanted to play with, to find the right characters to do that. I think, like I said, Jay Goldberg came up with the idea of these ex-cons, and that already gives them a redemption arc that I liked quite a bit. And so it's figuring out the pieces within that. For Ryan's character, I think, we've seen the very excellent, like Tony Kaye's American History X or The Believer or something like that, the dramatic versions of that I can't do that any better. This was the pulp horror version of that. Is how do we do that? How do we get that in there and still make it fun and cathartic and all that stuff? And then to put Morgan and Bryce's characters against that, I just thought it was the right pieces to play with what's going on in the world today. And still, like I said, I'm all about character, so I work really hard on their voice. And then these actors brought so much more voice to it. The comedy was always kind of in there. We had to modulate as we went. I think Morgan and Bryce were perfect at being able to modulate within that. We kind of figured that out as we went. We're like, we got to scale back on the comedy a bit. And so, just getting their redemption arcs in there and setting these characters up as people that already were on the path to redemption, and putting this adversary in front of them that directly conflicts with that, I think was always the case.
For me with Imani, like, first of all, just reading the sides for the audition, like, I was so excited about it because she had all of these different levels to her. Of course, she has like the comedic aspect, but most of the time that comedy comes from a lot of pain and a lot of things that you've gone through in your life. So she's gone through a lot in her life. And I figured out what that was. I just, came up with what I wanted that to be for her. And I was able to just kind of just really open myself and be vulnerable within this character to just go there. And like one of the scenes that we had to do, I don't want to give it, I'm probably giving something away. So anyways, I just had to go there with her and just like unleash all of that frustration that she had built up. And that comes out in the comedy aspect. That also comes out in her frustration, her anger, with just how she shows up in the world and how people see her. Even her, I wanted to give her even kind of like a masculine vibe to her character, right, as well. And for her to be able to be accepted within that space, just as well as the other two guys. So it was so much fun playing.
Yeah, and on top of that, you got to bust a few dancing moves as well, no? You got a great dancing scene.
That was a super fun time. Yeah.
What about Bryce and Ryan? The same question.
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead, my man.
What was the question again? Is that what? So what was the question? Was the specifics of the character, or what drew
Basically,
it to the
I mean,
character?
once you realized who you were going to be playing, what was it that you thought you could bring to it, and what additional things did you think you could bring to the table?
Yeah, I
Especially
mean, a
once you got
lot
on
of
the
it.
set, I imagine. I imagine once you got on the set, you kind of thought, maybe that we could do this as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that happens within the process of developing a character, finding a character. A lot of that we found though before we got to set. I had talked with Jerren, and we had discussed kind of like he was saying, you know, finding the arc of these characters. And I think the thing with Albert was, you know, he really was a guy who was trying to find redemption, was really trying to turn the corner. You know, that's why he started this business. That's why he calls it second chances. So, you know, a lot of that was what we were really trying to is to kind of make this, you know, guy who comes from a very terrible belief system, and try to make him likable, really try to believe that this guy was really trying to go on the right path. And I think, you know, you see that with Bryce's character questioning him, and, you know, you still, you know, a few of the lines that he says where he's talking about, you know, you got to earn the clean skin. He shares that, you know, that connection with Bryce. That's where I feel like they really connected. Again, he's just really trying to show that, you know, people do deserve a second chance.
I was excited to kind of bring out the reality of how suspicious, like at least the Latino culture, we're really suspicious about all that type of stuff. So yeah. I was legitimately in that house and I was creeped out 95% of the time, even though I had already seen everything. We had done takes and takes and takes, and it was still really creepy. So it was fun bringing that out into the character, and also just really trying to personify how he really wanted to redeem himself. I mean, he went to jail, he lost his daughter, and he's trying to get her back. And just like everybody, they have their own flaws and their mistakes in life, and we have to have some sort of motivation to be able to get out of that rut that we're in and see that light at the end of the tunnel.
It's so funny talking about all this stuff too, just like so seriously. It was just like it's a crazy, wild, kind of pulpy movie, and we had so much fun on set. It's just kind of we've never really talked like this way so much. I know. It's so interesting.
We had a lot of laughs on set. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah, I can imagine all cramped. I mean, did you actually stay in the house while you were filming, or was that off limits?
I heard some people worked there late, and some people left and had like come back and like heard some things, and they were just like in and out. Like Bryce ain't lying when he was talking about the house being creepy. It's like multi levels. It's got like all. I mean, what you see. I mean, I got to say a shout out to Meg and the team. They dialed it in, but like, it's just a creepy house in general.
Yeah, the film was beautifully shot. I'm imagining that there was no sound stages involved. No, you shot everything in the house. It was really well shot. So kudos to whoever was the cinematographer for that. And
thanks. His name is Brian. Brian Stoll. Yeah, he's great. We just shot another movie with him. I just wanted to shout him out on here, so he'll like to hear that. Yeah,
because I mean, it just really felt like we were in the film in the house with you. It was really, really nicely shot. I thought it worked really well. And then obviously someone who's not here that we've got to talk about is Michael Flynn. No, now did you click instantly with him when you met him on set as well, or was that not so quick? He's fantastic.
Are you asking the cast or Jerren?
I was a guy.
Everybody.
Well, like he's kind of an acting legend out in Utah. Kind of a local legend, and he kind of just he brought this very quiet menace, like even in the audition, that was like not how we had kind of thought about it. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's really interesting. Why don't we go that route? And I think I remember in the table read, looking around, he started doing his German accent and all that stuff. And I remember Ryan was sitting right next to him at the table read. And as soon as Michael Flynn started, Ryan kind of looked at me and like winked and was like, yeah, we got this.
He was so amazing. Like he literally told me, listen, go, you can do whatever, feel absolutely comfortable with me. Just like go all the way. And I had to do, I don't know if I can say, but anyways, I had to do, okay. So I had to like spit in his face. And he was literally like, go full throttle, like, let's just go all the way so that we could go there. That scene was so intense because I was intense, he was intense. Like, we literally just gave each other that freedom as actors. So it was scary, like the whole, like, I mean, obviously we used something else, but you know, the needle coming like really close to the eye, everything just feeling like, in the moment, so surreal. Like it was really a lot of fun, but also felt just really free as like an actor to be able to feel comfortable with another actor who's like really, really amazing to like just, you know, go there all the way with it. So yeah, we had fun. And then also Jerren, like the things that you gave me, you know, we took it different directions and being able to go there emotionally, like was so much fun. I think that scene is super powerful. Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
In line with that, also obviously, I imagine pretty much all of the special effects were done in front of the camera. No, I mean Ryan also, without giving anything away, has an absolutely brutal scene kind of towards the end. That must have really helped you get into character as well. It must have been tricky, and if you failed with the first shot, I imagine it would have been like an hour, 2 hours to clean everything up and start again.
yeah.
No pressure.
No, you get one shot, kid.
Yeah, we did. We had we tried to go old school prosthetics, everything on camera. That scene you're talking about was one of from the start was like, that's what we got to climax with is getting rid of that element. Yeah, I think we actually did 2 of those, but we ended up going with the first one, ironically enough. But yeah, that was that whole night. I remember Morgan was there. Everyone was there just to watch. Yeah. Right, like Morgan was done shooting and stuff. But yeah, it got bloody. I remember. I think it was that day. I full on just slid in the blood, fell down, hit. Like it was just the most embarrassing thing that's maybe ever happened to me. But yeah, I got bloody. But that's what you want in horror movies like this.
Yeah,
it's the blood, all the blood.
Definitely. I mean, from the actor's perspective, can you tell me what was the most difficult for you to tackle in this movie? Because obviously we've got the special effects, we've got just a 12-day shoot, all very, very guerrilla style. Now, what for you? What was the most complicated thing to pull off from an actor's point of view?
Go ahead, Morgan.
I was gonna say one of the things for me, because I'm not originally like a fighter, was making that really real and authentic for myself. Like when I had the like kick-ass scene where I had to beat some ass, that was like we were working on that and trying to like perfect that so that it would come off, you know, really natural, like in my swings and all of that. So that was kind of like a little difficult one that I was literally in the corner, like, okay, let me make sure I got this, you know, so that she's badass. But that, and I would say when I had to get emotional, like we decided to take another route, and I had to really go there and really put myself in that position to, you know, really get emotional about everything that was going on. And it was in 2 different scenes, but I don't want to give them away. But yeah.
Okay.
I'd been doing a lot of writing and directing and producing, and I'd still been doing some acting. I'd be doing 1 or 2 scenes on a friend's film or whatnot, still doing that. And Attic was kind of like one of my big first leads back. And I remember thinking, wow, 12 days. I remember getting there, looking at some of those pages and thinking like, wow, there's a lot of dialogue. Like,
yeah,
I was like, wow, it's like, we're back. But yeah, that was the thing. I was like, I remember thinking, gosh, this is a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get done, a lot of scenes and a lot of dialogue, a lot of emotion. And so, yeah.
Oh, you pulled it off in the end.
Cheers. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'd even say like I felt like you were like a leader for us as well, you know, and you were amazing. Like you definitely led the pack. So.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it was, you know, I had a great time working with these guys, honestly, like, because when you mentioned that, I was trying to think of difficulties and I'm like, man, we made a movie. We had a good time. Like, you know, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of time to do it, but we had a great time doing it. I think like everyone really stepped up and nailed it. And I think it turned out great. And it was just a great experience. I mean, I don't know, Bryce. 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 I was in the mode. I'm in the mode. I'm with my team.
Yeah, kind of. It was similar to Morgan, where one of my scenes where I'm in the bathroom, it was a tough kind of choreography shot because it was such a small bathroom,
Right.
and I didn't want to get out of the DP's way, and I had to fall and cough and do all this stuff, and I was like, so I can't punch the camera or kick the camera because it's just gonna mess everything up. So that was one thing that was
This
really
bathroom
rough.
was
Fun.
tiny.
It was yeah, it was.
But you made it look big, bro.
That's why I say again that the camera work was phenomenal the whole way through, because I could just kind of, I imagine that it was all filmed on set, so it was just remarkable work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Thank
good.
you.
I loved it.
Yeah,
And
that scene we were really proud of that day, because we were, not worried, but a little worried about that going in. Like, how are we gonna pull this scene off? And yeah, Bryce was a trooper on that. That was great. Anyway, sorry, Bryce, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you good, man. And well, for another little thing is I like all the blood that they had, all the fake blood. It was like it was syrup, and it was so sticky, and like that was always getting in my mind. And like it was, I hate to be sticky. I hate it, and it was just messing me up so bad. But we worked around it, and it was good.
It's
one
a
of the
horror
other things
movie,
that
Bryce. It's a horror.
I know. I gotta be clean though. I gotta be always clean, even in horror. Just wipes off me. Another scene was where I confront Ryan, and just kind of that getting into that emotional state. But those two really did help out, because I mean, as soon as Jerren said action, everybody was on point with their acting, and it was the feeling was real. It was everybody's emotions. It was palpable, everybody's emotions. So it helped out a lot.
I was going to say that you kind of get, it's a cliffhanger ending, but it's not a cliffhanger hanger ending. It's more of a seconds out round 2 ending. I don't think that gives anything away, no? Did you write this with the intention of maybe taking it even further? Because it certainly looks like you had some kind of idea where you'd like to take it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, to be honest, that was a little bit after we had sold the movie to Top Dead Center, the production company, and kind of that was definitely the intention. It's like possibly this could go, and we had some ideas for that. And yeah.
Have you been busy during lockdown? You've been able to get some things sorted out?
Yeah. It's I mean, when it first happened, of course, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Let me send my love yous. Is the world going down? But I think we're all doing good, trying to make it through that and be healthy and all of that. But I've been blessed to be able to get work within this time. So I'm here now in New Orleans, and I'm filming for this new television show. So Sacrifice, that's going to be on BET. So guys got to check it out. And I do have to run because I have to be there on time in 10, 11 minutes. But yeah, so that's what I have coming up now. And I've got some other things in the pot too that I'm waiting to clear through. So I'm really excited about it, but it's all been working really, really good for me. So yeah.
Here in Utah, they always film Hallmark. So last year I was in a Hallmark. And then I recently wrapped production with another Top Dead Center Films with Julie and Gary that finished at the end of January. So that was really fun to work on. It was another thriller, so I'm excited for that to come out.
No sticky moments in that one, no?
No sticky moments.
That's in Bryce's contract now. After that one, he had his own experience with the sticky. He tried it. He definitely doesn't like it now. It's official.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Shout out to Gary and Julie Auerbach, Top Dead Center Films. And then Jerren, why don't you start it off, since Jerren and I just did another film actually in Oklahoma, in Tulsa. I recently relocated to Oklahoma for work. And yeah, Jerren, hit him off.
Yeah, it worked out. We just finished shooting The Inhabitant. We're in editing on that right now. That's another horror kind of psychological thriller. It has to do with the bloodline of Lizzie Borden. I don't want to say too much. There's kind of a mystery there. It's some fun axe murder stuff and all sorts of stuff. Ryan plays a cop hot on the trail of a murderer. And that's got Dermot Mulroney, Leslie Bibb, Odessa Zion, Lizzie Broadway, who's just booked some really big stuff. You'll hear of her soon. And Ryan. Yeah, that was a big step up in budget and toys and locations and all that kind of stuff. And we're deep in post right now. It's got a lot of my fingerprints all over it. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm really excited about it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Obviously, it was a fun project. It was great working with Jerren again. Also Brian Sowell, who was the DP, and Meg, who killed it on the production end, the production designer end. So yeah, it was a great team. It was great working with them again. So yeah, I did that. Also did a few films out here in Oklahoma. Got a few independent films. One called Killer Infatuation. Chris Zilka and Billy Armstrong. Just completed another one called Prisoner of Love with James Hyde and Katie Kelly. And then did also another film called For the Love of Money with this Carrie Hilson, Cat Williams, Jason Williams, Rotimi, Keith Sweat. Big cast. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, but really excited to check out Addict the 11th on Shudder.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait for it to come out on Shudder on, like you said, on Thursday for everyone to finally get to see it. Wish you the best of luck with that, and I hope to speak to you about one of these future horror projects sometime in the near future.
Oh yeah, man. Let's talk about The Inhabitant. Let's get back on and
definitely. Well, take care of yourself,
Thanks,
guys.
Howard.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and look after
Cheers,
yourself.
brother.
You as well,
Cheers,
Howard.
mate. Thank you, Howard.
And shout out to Shudder. Shout out to Shudder.
That's the angel of death, motherfucker!
Usually I am much more professional.